So in the latest 7 months, I actually invested $7,000 into the stock market as a student and as a guy who doesn't have that much money to invest with. And today I'm gonna explain to you guys my investment strategies and why did I choose to do what I'm doing right now. So today we're speaking dividends and how to invest. Let's go. Hey, so first of all, my name is Alexi. Welcome to my channel. Here we speak about personal finance, investment, and passive income. So if you're interested into these subjects, you can just subscribe to the channel. We're actually doing a giveaway here at 1,000 subscribers. I will give one of you guys $100 that you can use to start investing or to do whatever you want to. If you want to participate to the giveaway, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below saying I participate, and follow me on Instagram. The link is in the description down below. So let's start with the most important thing. Why did I choose to invest in dividends? So about 8 to 9 months ago, I was actually looking at what kind of investments I could make as a 20-year-old that doesn't have that much money, and I stumbled across a few YouTube channels about people speaking about dividend investing, and I was actually really surprised to see how it works. The first thing that I found really interesting about dividend investing is the compound interest side of things that you can find when you invest only into dividends. So how compound interest actually works is really easy. When you invest in something, you put, let's say, $100 into a share, and this share will give you back 5% each year. Now let's go a year later and you actually got paid this $5 back. So now you have $105. This $5 that you just got paid, you can actually reinvest it into the company that paid you back at first, which means that now you have $105 invested, even though you didn't really invest more money than you did in the first year. And over a really long period of time, it's actually incredible to see an exponential growth into your investments, because each year you'll get 5%, but each time this 5% will be bigger than last time until it reaches a point where it's actually big payments each time. So compound interest is actually really interesting, and if you aim for long-term investments, let's say 20 to 25 years, it's absolutely amazing to invest into dividends. Now the second thing that made me choose them over all other investments is that it's actually considered a passive income stream. When you invest into dividends and you get paid this dividend each year, well, you didn't work for it, you just invested money and you're getting paid money back each year. So it's really passive. You put money into the market pays you back each year. So if you have a really long-term view on investments, well, you'll get paid this money each year and each year and each year until you can actually use this money as a salary when it gets big enough for you to actually live off dividends, for example. And since on this channel we speak a lot about passive income and investment, well, that's a perfect fit for me. And last but not least, I chose dividend because it's a really passive way of investing. I just spoke about passive income, but this is a passive way of investing, which means that if you have a long-term view on investment, well, you just put your money into the market and wait 20, 25 years or even more. So if you don't want to spend your days looking at companies, looking at new ways to make profit, well, this is a perfect fit for you because you just invest in a company you really believe in over the long term and you watch your money grow over time. Okay, so I just spoke about dividends. Now, what other investments can you actually do? The first of the options for you will be day trading, but the problem with day trading is that there's actually statistics that show that you have to be in the top 10% of the people using this technique to actually make some money. If you don't know, about 80% of traders, actually day traders, because I don't think it's exactly the same thing, but 80% of day traders lose all their investments money in the first year of trading. There are 20% left, half of them lose money but not all of it, and the last 10% actually make profit from it. And if you actually want to live off your day trading activity, you have to be in the top 1%. Now I just spoke about day trading, and there's also trading, which is over the short period of time, but it's not every day that you're selling and buying all the time. This time you're actually buying, and let's say in a week you will sell this stock because you know you'll gain maybe 10% on it. So this is another way of investing, still really risky because if you aim for short term, you never know what the market is really gonna do. But it's actually a little bit safer to use a short-term speculation trading system rather than a day trading system, which is really risky. There's also value investing, when you invest in a company because you know it will gain value over time. This is kind of what I'm doing with my dividend investments, because I invest into companies that pay dividends that I know they will still pay over a long period of time, but I actually also want the price of the share to actually go up. So at the end of the day, if I don't like the company anymore, if the fundamentals are changing too much, well, I can just sell this share and still make profit over it. Okay, so now how do I choose the companies I invest in? What I mostly look for is their business model, what they do in their business. Is it sustainable over a long period of time, and is the balance sheet actually doing great? So I will only invest in companies that have profits over a long period of time for me to actually invest in them. Next, they have to pay a dividend, as I just said before. I only invest into companies that have a dividend yield. I like to aim between 3-4% of dividend yield, but of course there are some exceptions. For example, this month I actually invested into Apple about 2.15 shares, which is almost $1,000. But what I did is that Apple is a really great company that I know will do great in the future. They have a really small dividend of about 0.77, I believe, which is really lower than what I aim for my other investments, but I know that the company will gain value over time, which is a great mix of investments for me. Next on the list is dividend growth. Of course, if they pay a dividend, I want this dividend to be bigger and bigger and bigger each and single year. Now, as I just spoke about Apple, for example, they have a really small dividend payments, but they have a really high dividend growth. Each year, I believe it's about 7 or 8% of their dividend that is going up and up and up each year. So it's huge. Over a long period of time, again, let's say in 10 years, the dividend will be a lot and a lot bigger than what it is now. So the sooner you invest into companies that have a great dividend growth, the better it is for you. Of course, all the companies that I invest in have to have a PE ratio that is positive, which means that the company is not using all of its money to pay shareholders. Let's say if they have a 110% PE ratio, it means that they're paying more money to shareholders than what they actually have to spend. So I try to aim for a PE ratio of about 60 or 50%, let's say. Now, is it a good investment strategy to invest into dividends, and is it for everyone? Well, in theory, I would say yes. In practice, no. So why is it? Because first of all, you have to be patient, and this is something that a lot of people don't have, is patience. You need to have a really long-term view on your investments in order to have a positive and a great dividend investment strategy. Because if you invest into a dividend company expecting it to explode in the next year, it's probably not going to be the case, because dividend paying companies are mostly stable companies that are already into the market and already have their share of the market. And if you're not ready to wait 20, 25 or even more years for it to be really profitable, well, this is not the strategy for you. Next, let's speak about emotions, because a lot of people actually, when they invest into dividends, don't take into account the emotions that are going to go with your investments. Since the companies that you're going to buy are mostly stable, have a little growth but not the biggest one, it's really possible to actually go in the red at first, which was the case for me, and you have to put emotions aside when this happens. You don't want to sell a share because the price of the share just went down. If they're sustaining their dividend payments, there's no purpose in actually selling the company, because if they still pay the dividend, it means that they are really considering future growth in the company. If they cut the dividends, it means, oh, we are in a bad position, we have to reconsider everything we're doing. But if they still pay the dividends, keep the company. They're doing great in the future. Now, this goes back to patience, but if you have a lot of feelings about missing out on opportunities, well, dividends are probably not gonna be the best options for you, because I kind of had this emotion in my head like in the latest month or so when I saw the Tesla stock exploding, and I was like, maybe I'm missing out on something. Maybe I should switch my strategy from dividend to growth investing or into hype investing. And then I thought about it and I was like, what are you thinking about? Aim for long term and you'll be a winner. If you aim for short term and speculations, all of this, you are most likely gonna lose money over it. So I don't touch that. But if you have easily these emotions about feeling like you're missing out on something, well, dividends are gonna be a hard investment for you. Now, how can you actually start investing into dividend? Well, I actually made a full video about how to start investing as a beginner, which is right here, and you can go and check it out right now. Of course, don't forget the giveaway. You can earn $100 if you subscribe to the channel, comment that you participate, and follow me on Instagram. It was your host Alexi, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.